What's going on, and welcome back. Today is an exciting day. And why is it exciting? Because as you can see behind me, Project Stepchild is on the ground. Yes, Project Stepchild has been taken off the jack stands. As you should have seen in the last video, we did fire up the car and everything seems to check out. I checked again this morning when I come out to the shop and I don't see any issues right now. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's test drive. So we're gonna test drive Project Stepchild. I actually want to put several miles on her today, driving around town. I checked the break-in period for the Ram clutch, and to my surprise, there is no break-in period for any Ram clutch that I could find. So no break-in period there. As far as the transmission, I believe it's 500 miles of as many shifts as you can make, I guess, through all the gears. So that's pretty good news, actually. I don't have to worry about breaking in the clutch. On their website, it says their clutches are ready to go. So I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I have to worry about is the transmission, and make sure that I get through all the gears. I do want to shift into all the gears, which means I'll have to go on the highway as well, most likely, or at least to get into 6th gear, I'll probably have to go on the highway. So that's what we need to do. I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride. Hopefully I won't have any audio issues that I've had previously with the camera mounted in the car. With these long tube headers, this car is extremely loud. I hope I don't pick up any kind of other weird noise and stuff. I am using an external mic, so maybe that'll help. I really hope that'll help so that you guys can hear what I'm saying. Not that it matters what I'm saying, or maybe not that you even care what I'm saying, but we're gonna test drive the car, and I can't wait to do it. It's gonna be the same car basically for you guys, maybe a little louder, but for me it's gonna be like a totally different car. New clutch, new transmission, new drive shaft. It's gonna be totally different. This transmission is geared differently, so that's gonna give it a totally different feel, but I can't wait, man. So, man, let's quit jacking our jaws here and let's get in the car and let's get down the road. All right, we're about to go on a test drive, but first, let's get that cold start. I ain't even gonna lie, that thing is ridiculously loud. I mean, ridiculous. Woo, damn. Here we go. Hope everything works, man. I'm super nervous about driving this car right now because, I mean, you never know. You never know what you could have missed, or, you know, what might not be exactly right, but I guess we'll see. Transmission's a little stiff getting in gear. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, or that it just needs to, you know, kind of break in a little bit, but it's catching really close to the floor. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping I got the all the air out of the master cylinder. Really hoping I got that right. But she is moving under her own power. It could also be the clutch. Maybe I'm just not used to this style of clutch. I don't know. You know, we'll see. good. I'm actually cruising in 5th gear, and it's putting me, let's see, let me at 45. Sitting at 45 miles an hour. I'm just above 1,500 RPM, so that's actually a really cool cruising speed and RPM. Because before, and I don't know if it's going to be the same, but before this catback, the Pypes X-Bomb, in my car at least, I had a lot of drone. So cruising at this RPM, at this speed, it's pretty quiet in here. I mean, you can hear the car obviously, but it's a lot quieter than it was because the MT82 put me right at 2,000 RPM at this speed and in 5th gear. So I'm really liking that a lot. That'll keep that drone out of here, just normal cruising around. So that's pretty awesome. I do notice a little bit more NVH, but that could be due to the motor mounts. I am using the Steeda motor mounts, and they are the polyurethane, and they have 2 different pads in there. They have a red pad and a black pad, and depending on which side motor mount you're working on, you put that black pad either on top or on the bottom. But I am using the black pads because they are stiffer. It's more for, you know, drag racing, that kind of thing. So I did put the black pads in, and it actually says in their instructions that you will get NVH. So that was to be expected. Not a big deal. I did notice some guys that have done the T56 swap in their car, they have mentioned something about the RPM hang, where the RPM will, when you go to shift, the RPM will actually hang, and I'm not sure why it does that, but I'm noticing that mine is doing that. So I think they can take that out in the tune, from what I understand. I believe that the tuner will have to take that out. That'll I guess that'll have to come later, because I don't plan on tuning the car just yet. And I know I'm running long tubes and the off-road exhaust. Still waiting on the check engine light to show up. I did talk to Speed Addict 731, talked to Ken, and he said it may take some time for that to show up. But most likely I will get the check engine light, because of the O2 sensors won't have enough difference between their readings, I think is how it works. They'll pretty much read about the same reading. So that is to be expected, that will happen. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to show up. I mean, it'd be cool if it didn't, but I fully expect that it will. Now I do have to say, this Ram clutch, as far as, you know, the amount of pedal pressure that you have to put on the pedal, it is actually less. It feels less to me than with the stock clutch, which that's kind of weird. I'm not really used to that. That'll take some getting used to for sure. But it is definitely lighter than the stock clutch, without a doubt. Definitely lighter. That's kind of a surprise, actually. But that is actually one of the things that I talked about with Ram when we were talking about the clutch, is that, you know, this clutch shouldn't really give any more, or require any more effort to actuate it. But I didn't expect it to be less. That was kind of a surprise. But also with the Ram clutch, I don't notice any chatter really. which that is surprising as well, because as I've said in previous videos, you know, we're using the metallic disc. So, I mean, this clutch is no joke. You know, this is a clutch that's going to handle, hopefully handle, you know, really hard launches, hard shifts, that kind of thing. So I'm really surprised that it's as smooth as it is. I mean, there's no chatter. Pedal effort is very minimal, less than stock. That's crazy. This clutch is surprising me a lot. The car itself is definitely louder with the long tubes. Definitely louder. I mean, as you saw in the video, but it is definitely louder. But now that I can cruise below that drone zone, we'll call it, now that I can cruise below that, man, I'm pretty excited about that, because I was really worried that the drone was going to be even worse than what it was, but it has actually calmed down because I'm in that lower RPM, so that's awesome. Now, as far as the transmission, the T56, it feels a bit notchy. Hopefully that'll kind of work its way out as it breaks in. As I said before, you know, this requires a break-in, so you know, I'm fully expecting that, you know, to be notchy. No big deal. In which, actually, that reminds me, I'm going to reset one of my trips on here so that I can keep track of the mileage. I should have did that earlier, but didn't think about it. But anyway, the transmission, it feels like I said, it feels a bit notchy right now. But before, with the MT82, one of the problems with that was, you know, first gear is like super short. It's almost useless. And with 373s, which is what I have because of the performance package, you know, it kind of made driving, or at least starting off from a stop, kind of made it, you know, not too fun, because as soon as you're pulling off, you know, you're wanting to shift into second. But with this transmission, this one has the 297 first gear, 373s in the back. With this transmission, it's definitely way different. There is, you know, first gear isn't so short. You don't feel like you have to shift out of it right away, which is very cool. And I'm really hoping that's going to help me, you know, at the track as well. And I'm hoping I can keep the 373s in the rear, you know, with the supercharger. I'm hoping I don't have to change rear gears. I'm hoping I can just run this, and that'll put me, you know, at a good RPM going through the traps in the quarter mile in fourth gear. But we'll see. Time will tell. We got to get that supercharger installed. So that is going to be one of the next things. I think the next thing, once I get the transmission broken in, I think I want to get the front brakes swapped out to the bare brakes. I'd like to go ahead and weigh the car now as it sits, weigh it again to see where it's at compared to where it was before, because we've made a lot of changes, and some things weigh more than the stock parts and other things weigh less than the stock parts. So I'm very curious to see where my weight is at with this car right now. I believe before we were 3760 or somewhere around in there. I'd have to look at the printout again, but man, I don't really want to add a ton of weight. The supercharger is going to add a ton of weight by itself, so I'm not looking forward to that, but it is what it is. So I'm kind of trying to combat that, you know, with other parts. Now these headers, the long tube headers, I know weigh less than the factory manifolds. I mean, you can tell the factory manifolds, I was moving them today to put them somewhere else, get them out of the way, and man, them things are heavy. So I know the headers, I would say the headers in the S-shaped pipes, you know, combined don't weigh as much as the factory manifolds. So think that's kind of cool. That's pretty awesome, actually. I think we're gonna save a little weight there. Now the transmission, man, I don't know. Now I did pick this transmission up myself out of the box to get it out of the box. I was by myself and I picked this transmission up. So it's not light. I know it's not light, but I don't think it's heavier than the MT82, but the MT82 has an integrated bell housing, whereas I think this bell housing may add weight overall to this. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm really curious to see where the car's at right now weight wise, and I should go weigh it today, but I just want to kind of get some miles on it. But first impressions of the drive, man, it's nice, man. It's a different car. It does feel like a different car. She feels really stiff, you know, and I'm using a lot of I've stiffened up the rear suspension a little bit. I still got more for it, you know. I've got the stiffer motor mounts, so I'm picking up a little more NVH, which, you know, that's fine, because really it's not bad. I mean, I have a daily Fox body, so NVH in this car is nothing compared to that car. But initial impressions, man, I'm really liking this so far. Feels good, and hopefully I'll get a little bit more improvements with everything, you know, as I go along. So that'll be even better. That'll be awesome. But I'm gonna drive around for a bit. Can't do anything crazy. Can't really see how everything pulls in each gear, nothing like that. I got to take it easy on the transmission for the first 500 miles. So nothing crazy, nothing really to see. I've kind of said everything I need to say for now. So I'm gonna drive around a little bit, and then I'll see you guys back at the house. All right, we made it back. First drive went well, I think, in my opinion. So looking forward to putting some more miles on this thing. I put about 18 miles on it. Only have what, 482? No. Yes. Only have about 482 more miles to go. Oh, that's gonna take a while. But anyway, the car is running. Stepchild is running. I can't wait to put more miles on it and just enjoy the car for a while. Got to get back on the Nova over there. Got to get busy on that. We're going to try to get that one cranked up, but we have a lot to do in order to do that. So we need to get back on that one now that Stepchild's back on the ground. And all I really want to do at the moment with this is just drive her and get some miles on her so the transmission can break in. I mean, everything seems good. The transmission seems to shift fine. It's a little notchy, but I think that'll improve as it breaks in. So anyway, first test drive is done. Moving on to other things on Stepchild after a little while, but we're getting back on the Nova, so stay tuned. Lots to come on this channel. You don't want to miss it. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you on the next one.